Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday Bootcamp. Uh, Coach Jazzi here, and going on with the theme. So, if you've been here for a while, you know I love to do themed classes this time of the year. So, for that, I have a theme. So, we're going to be spelling out ghost today. So I'm going to go ahead real quick with a few demos and then we'll get right into our warm up and then into the circuit. So starting off here for our G, we're going to do glute bridges. So we're going to be on the ground on our backs. For this, what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 full ones and then we're going to hold for 5 seconds. So feet hip width apart here, pushing our hips up, driving through our heel, back down. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the 5th one, we're gonna hold for 5 seconds. So that's gonna hopefully keep our glutes engaged the whole time. And then after that, for the H, we're gonna do a hand walk to push up, which is essentially, a little bit here, which is essentially an inchworm with push up, but Ghost has an H. So hand walk here, feet hip width apart, hands coming down, walking our hands out into our push up and then walking our hands back. So I do want us to only walk our hands out and back today. So then that way we're really getting that nice upper body shoulder workout here. So that's the H. And then for the O, we're going to do overhead reverse lunges. So holding our arms above head, stepping back 1 foot at a time, pushing through our whole foot. Want to make sure that with our arms up, we're not arching our back, we're not bending so far forward. So that is the O. And then for the first S, we're spelling a plural ghosts today. For the first S, we're going to do Supermans here. So on our stomach, coming up, holding for 3 seconds, squeezing our glutes and back down. So this one's going to help us work on our glute strength, our low back strength, and our upper back strength. And then we're going to flip over on our back. For the last 2, we're going to do a little bit of some different core work today. It's been a while since we've done these. So for the T, we're going to do some toe touches. So we're going to have our feet straight up towards the ceiling. We're going to take our hands, we're going to exhale, we're going to tap the outside of one foot, and then exhale, tapping the other side. So the goal is to keep our legs as straight as we can. We're going to touch the opposite toe. It's going to help us work on our core, specifically one side at a time a little bit more. And then lastly, to work on our lower core a little bit, we're going to go ahead and do some single leg lowering. So we're going to live, starting off with both feet towards the ceiling. We're going to lower 1 foot towards the ground, exhale, coming up, and then the other leg coming down, exhaling, coming up. So that is going to be our circuit for today. So a little bit more floor time and a little bit more core work today, but it's been a while since we've done that. So we're going to go ahead real quick with some demo. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, I already did the demos. We're going to do our warm up and then we're going to get into the circuit. So let's go ahead, do the world's greatest stretch here. So coming to the top of our space, interlace our fingers, grab onto our knee. And exhaling, step back, reverse lunge. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling. Looking past our hand, really working on our rotation, opening up our hips as well. And exhaling, planting outside of our front foot. Bringing our back foot a little bit closer, pushing our hips up into our nice hamstring stretch. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, stand on up. All right, let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So interlace our fingers, grabbing onto our other knee, pulling towards our chest. And exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands coming down to the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling, looking past our hand. Thumb is facing behind us. And exhaling, planting outside of our front foot. Bring our back foot a little bit closer and push our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And exhale, bring our feet together. Push the ground away and stand on up. All right. Let's go ahead real quick. We're going to do a couple planks of pikes here, just getting our arms and core warmed up. So making our way onto our hands and toes. And then let's go ahead, exhale, push your hips up towards the ceiling. We're going to go ahead, pedal our heels. Let's go ahead, push one calf into the ground. And exhale and switch. Exhale and switch. And one more. And let's go ahead, push both our heels into the ground, push our head in between our arms. Coming back to our plank. We're going to do 3 quick ones here coming up. Down, 2 more. And down, and last one coming up. Back to our plank. And then you can go ahead, gently drop your knees to the ground, and then go ahead, flip over onto your backs. Because we're starting off with our glute bridges. I forgot to mention, we are doing 3 rounds. We're doing 50-10 today because not a whole lot of cardio going on here today. So we're going to do 50-10. And I'm going to get the timer going here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So starting off with glute bridges. So we're doing 5 glute bridges, and then we're going to hold for 5 seconds. So making sure we're pushing through our whole foot, keeping our pelvis tucked, so butt to belly button, and making sure too, we want to keep our feet close enough so that way we feel in our glutes. If they're too close, it's going to be a quad base or quad focus. If they're too far away, we're going to feel it in our hamstrings. We also want to make sure our knees are staying over our feet. They're not coming closer together. If they come too close together, we're not going to feel it in our glutes either. Great job. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right, we got 10 seconds to stand on up. We're doing hand walk, 2 push-up. 3, 2, 1. So for this, I know I usually say you can walk back up either with your hands or with your feet. But this time, as soon as we come back up into our pike position, we're walking our hands. So because this is a hand walk to push up and not an inchworm, I'm going to be technical today. I want us really working on just our hands. So we're going to build up the strength here a little bit more through our chest and shoulders, keeping our core engaged, making sure we drive through our whole foot, using our glutes to stand back up. Right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have overhead reverse lunges. So holding our arms above our head. 3, 2, 1. So hands out towards the ceiling. We're stepping back, keeping our chest over the arch of our front foot. Again, really important that we keep our core engaged. So that way when we step back, we're not forward, we're not arching our back. We're trying to stay as flat as we can through our upper body, keeping those angles the same. So chest is still staying over the arch of our front foot. Pushing through the whole foot of our front foot. Trying to keep all of our weight forward. 3, 2, 1. All right. Now, next up we have Supermans. So getting on the ground, on face down. 3, 2, 1. So having our hands out in front. Exhaling, we want to hold for at least 3 seconds. You want to be challenge a little bit more, feel free to hold as long as you can before you go back down. So that's really going to help us work on the isometric hold. Again, we're going to be working on our upper back strength, so up here, but we are also working on our glute and low back strength. So you may feel your low back working, but we really do want to feel the main load in the glutes here. Only lifting as high up as we can. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, flipping over onto our backs for the last 2 movements and also for the first one of the next circuit. 3, 2, 1. So we have toe touches here, so toes straight to the ceiling. Exhale, engage our core and lift up. Again, we're touching the opposite hand to the opposite toe because that's going to help us. We're engaging our whole entire core to come up. So that's why we're doing the opposite toe, because I really want us to work on our whole core. And I know we don't normally do movements like this for our core either, but technically our single leg lowering and our glute bridge are also going to work on our core. So we usually do a lot of planks for core as well, but this is going to help us also, again, engage it a different way. 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm going to put my feet down here. We have single leg lowering next. 3, 2, 1. So same thing. Legs start in the air. Inhale. Bring your leg down. Exhale. Bring your core together. Bring your leg up. So if you start to notice that you're coming all the way down, but your low back is not on the ground, shorten that range of motion. I really want us to work within a range of motion that we feel it in our core the most. I know for me, sometimes if I go down too low with my legs, I'll use my hips to come back up. So if you start to notice that you're feeling it in your hips or in your back, shorten your range of motion. We don't need to cause any injuries. We also really want to work on the core. 3, 2, 1. All right. We have glute bridges next. So we have 2 rounds. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. 1 round down, 2 to go. 3, 2, 1. So same thing. Tuck your pelvis. Drive through your whole foot. If you really want to get the constant tension, because I know we're already going for it anyways, by doing 5. So we're doing 5 regular, 5 holds. If you really want to keep that constant tension, don't let your hips untuck. So don't release your pelvis. So keep everything tucked, right? Our core is engaged, but don't like relax when you get to the ground. Like keep everything engaged, and you're definitely going to feel your glutes really working at the end. If you also really want to give a little bit extra tension for your glutes, you can always add a mini band around your knees. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're standing up. We got hand walk to push up next. 3, 2, 1. We definitely got lots of groundwork today. We're walking our hands, doing a push up, and then walking back. Again, sticking with our hands are doing all the work today. Definitely getting a lot of upper body work in through this one. And feel free as well if your hands, or sorry, if your arms by second round, third round, because 50 seconds is a long time to be doing our work set for. So if you need to do an eccentric push-up, definitely do that. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up we have overhead alternating reverse lunges. 3, 2, 1. So hands above head, back, driving through our whole foot. and our front leg. If you want to make it more challenging, you can always hold like a dumbbell, a book, something that's weighted above your head if that feels good. If not, all good. I know I tend to feel the burn pretty quickly in this one because it is, again, an isometric workout, which can really help because the longer, I always say, right, we can increase intensity, get stronger by increasing our time under tension. And this is definitely a lot of time under tension. 3, 2, 1. All right, laying down on the ground. We have Superman's. 3, 2, 1. We're using the backs of our shoulders. We're using our low back and our glutes a little bit. It's kind of like a total body workout, especially for the back half of our body. So our posterior sides definitely get a lot of work in this one. It's important that we're still keeping our gaze forward. We don't want to look all the way up. We want to keep that chin tucked. So we keep our spine in one straight line. Holding for as long as we can, but at least 3 seconds here. Focusing on our breath. And then after this, we're going to flip over onto our back for our toe touches. 3, 2, 1. All right, flipping on over. We have toe touches. 3, 2, 1. So legs straight in the air. Tapping our hand to our opposite toe. We don't want to be using momentum, so it's really easy to kind of like swing our hands back and stuff. Want to take a second. I like to leave my hands here, take a second, exhale. As I exhale, I'm breathing through my straw, core is coming together, and then I lift up. So it helps take the momentum out. It helps make sure our core is engaged for each time we come up to tap. So it's kind of, this is a little bit more isolating the core than other movements. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement, and then we have one more round. Single leg lowering, so same position. Start. 3, 2, 1. So coming down. Exhale up. And this is one other thing too. I know a lot of us, I see it a lot, where we try and put our hands underneath our hips to help, right? Because it helps lower the range of motion. So I want us to not do that. I want us to have either your arms to your side, whatever else you'd like to do. And in that case, again, we are making sure that we lower our range of motion if it doesn't feel good going all the way down without our hands underneath our hips. So our goal here, we really just want to strengthen our core. We want to get stronger. If you can only go down this far, then go do your range of motion, and then we'll increase that range of motion over time. So trust me, I used to not be able to do that like this either. 3, 2, 1. But I'm pretty sure that y'all are already great at this. So I don't know why I'm not worried about y'all. All right, we got glute bridges next. 3, 2, 1. This is our last round. Feet hip width apart, keeping our pelvis tucked. Making sure, I feel like I'm like not even with the camera right now. Okay. I don't know. I don't like facing that way. Okay. This is more normal. So we're doing 5 glute bridges, 5 seconds. And back to 5. You can also, like I always say again, increase the time under tension. So if you are feeling like, oh, this is so easy, move slower, keep that constant tension on your glutes. Or like I said, you can always add a mini band. But if you can tell, I'm not relaxing into the bottom. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're done with those. We have our hand walk to push up next. 3, 2, 1. So coming down, walking out into our push up and back. I do want us to stand all the way up every time so we get that leg work in there as well. Job. Pushing through our whole foot. Finish strong here. Try and get one more in there. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with those. We have overhead reverse lunges. And then we're halfway done. 3, 2, 1. So, same thing. We are alternating. Keeping our weight forward. Making sure we're not letting our hands, having our arms above our head is not making us bend at our hips. We don't want to be here. Finding that same position, right? Our upper body, not our lower body, have our angles. Exhaling, pushing through our front foot. Great job. Finishing strong. We are going to be on the ground for the rest of the workout after this one. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. Now on to our stomachs for Supermans. 3, 2, 1. So you can hold for as long as you want. And the minimum amount is 3 seconds. So you have to at least do 3. But I'm sure that y'all can hold it for way longer than 3 seconds because I know y'all been taking my class for a while. So I know y'all are strong. You need to release out of it. Just hold. Release for like a second or two. Right back into it. Making sure our shoulder blades are pulled down and back. We're squeezing our glutes. Focus on our breath. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last 2 movements, toe touches, single leg lowering. 3, 2, 1. Feet all the way up. Want to try and get as straight of legs as we can. Exhaling, tapping the outside of the opposite toe with our opposite hand. Like I said, it's going to help us really work on our core as a whole. Not using momentum, so we're stopping. Engaging our core. So holding everything down and together. Three, 2, 1. All right, take a second. We have single leg lowering next. And then we're going to stay on the ground for a cool down. 3, 2, 1. So same thing. Inhale down, exhale up. Working within your preferred and best range of motion for you. Exhaling as we bring our leg back up. Great job. Using our core. It's also a test to see how tight our hamstrings are inadvertently because we're struggling to fully straighten our legs. Definitely hamstring tightness. But like I said, I think y'all are good since I see you in class pretty regularly. But if your hamstrings are tight, 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be our circuit for today. So go ahead and grab a sip of water if you need it. And we're going to go ahead and be on our hands and knees. So we're actually going to do some reach through rotations here because feel like we can use a little bit of that today after our hand walks and the Superman. So from our hands and our knees, what we're going to do, we're going to take one hand, we're going to reach through it in between the opposite arm, opposite leg while we're on our hands and knees. Now we're going to go ahead, bring our head and our arm all the way down to the ground. And this is going to help us work on our rotation a little bit and also open up our upper back and even into our traps and shoulders. We're going to do a few deep breaths and then we're going to switch sides. And one more breath. And as we finish our exhale, we can go ahead and bring our hand back up underneath our shoulder. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to take our other hand. We're going to reach as far as we can. We're going to bring our hand and our head, our arm and our head all the way to the ground. And we're going to start to really open up our upper back, work on our rotation. I feel like definitely did a lot of low back and a lot of core stuff. So I think rotating is going to help us really be able to recover after that workout. So we're going to do again a few breaths and then come out of it. And let's go ahead and do one more breath here. And after we finish our exhale, we can go ahead and gently bring our hand back up underneath our shoulder. And feel free to stay on the ground or you can return to a seated, kneeling, or position. But that is going to be all the time I have for us today. So thank y'all so much for joining me. We definitely got another theme going. So if you have any other theme ideas for Halloween or fall, let me know. But thank y'all so much for joining me. I hope y'all have a great Wednesday, and I'll see y'all again hopefully tomorrow.